It all starts with a question. What should I be reading? I'm Peter, and this is Stacks and Facts. Oh boy, y'all, so today is International or World Book Day, whatever you want to call it. How exciting. I didn't know that that was today. I only found out once I got onto Twitter and saw a bunch of people tweeting about books. So I figure, since, the channel being what it is, I would take advantage of the opportunity and also make a video shamelessly about books. It's not the one you were expecting, but it's the one you're getting. What I decided to do was that since I was already at school, I'd ask a bunch of the profs who were sitting around doing professorly things what recommendations they had. Now, I know that a bunch of you are planning on going to Library and Information Science School, or some of you are already there or graduating, and so if you haven't gotten there and you don't know what to expect, this should give you an idea of what the people who you're going to be interacting with on a daily basis are into. So, let's just go down the list. Now, the first person I talked to was Professor Julia Bullard. Julia teaches, she just got hired this term, and she teaches one of the core classes, and the book that she recommended is Sorting Things Out, Classification and Its Consequences. I think that is an excellent book. I haven't read it, but I read the back of it, and I'm all about understanding how the way that we choose to sort information affects who finds it. I've talked about this before. So yes, give that a read. I'll put a picture of it there, I guess. And of course, all of the book information is going to be in the description. After that, I talked to Professor Eric Meyers, who taught my New Media for Young Adults class. He also does the Children's Lit program. He's the supervisor for the Children's Lit program at my school. And I asked him for a recommendation, and he gave me, he recommended The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. He wanted this because he was like, it's a good book for kids. And then we talked about like kids being teenagers. Because it talks about a lot of things that kids go through. And, it discusses sex. So if that's not your thing, don't talk about it. But what I like about it is that it also is not super straight. I think this is very important that we need to have literature outside of the binary because, you know what, that's when kids are going to be reading. The next one I got was from Professor Richard Arias-Hernandez, who's also my supervisor. He gave me a book that I was actually assigned when I took his course over the summer. The book is called Weapons of Math Destruction, and it's on the shelf somewhere behind me. It's by Cathy O'Neill. And what it talks about is how data is used ethically or not in terms of giving people loans or giving people access to opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise have. It's a great book, especially a good primer on understanding how data can be misused, which is especially relevant given Cambridge Analytica and Facebook. The next recommendation I got was called Addiction by Design, and I got that from Professor Heather O'Brien. Heather taught my Human Information Interaction class in the core, and I thought that was a very interesting thing because it talked about how people and information interact, as one could guess from the title. But I think it's a very important topic because it goes to the fact of how we design technology has an impact on people, and oftentimes that impact is not positive. Professor Rick Kopak, who is a treasure, he gave me the recommendation of Born to Bark, My Adventures with an Irrepressible and Unforgettable Dog. So Rick teaches a lot of the design courses in our program, and he also is known for having pictures of his sweet, sweet dog in a lot of his presentations, and his dog is a terrier. And so he recommended this book partly because there's a terrier on the cover, but also because the author of the book is now a professor emerita here at UBC in psychology. Professor Abdul Magheed gave me the recommendation of The Talent Code. So Professor Magheed teaches programming and social media stuff here at UBC. And he recommended this book because it talks about how people aren't born talented. They develop talent over time and with practice. And I think that that's an important takeaway. The final book recommendation that I got was from Luann Freund, who is the director of our program and also taught me a class this past term. And it is called The Inconvenient Indian. This is a really popular book and a very important book. It was on Canada Read List this year. And it basically discusses the really bad history that exists in between the folks who colonized North America, and the folks who are here already. It's a really heavy topic, so beware if you decide to read that, but it's also a very important topic, and Luann assures me that it is approached with grace and it's very approachable. So yeah, have a look. Now, as far as my book recommendation to y'all, I don't have a copy of it anymore because I gave it away, but it's called Snow Crash. It is an excellent book by Neal Stephenson. It is one of the groundbreaking books in the genre of cyberpunk. It is a long read, just like everything else by Neal Stephenson, but is so worth it. And when you read it, it gives a really good perspective on a lot of where technology is nowadays, because as often happens, literature and what people dream informs where the world goes. And I think, science fiction is one of those things that represents what people dream. So that's my list of books from folks here at Library School in terms of what you should be reading. Go ahead and put a comment below saying what you've been reading or what you recommend. And yeah, thanks for watching. All right, bye.